They're all hurt. We're here. EJ Smith, Fran Duffy, Wulf, ready to talk about everything you need to know ahead of the Bucs matchup on Sunday, plus round 4 of Swooper coming up next on the PHLY Eagles podcast. Hello, everybody! Live from the Xfinity Studio. This is the PHLY Eagles podcast presented by Bet365 and Ashley. And boy, do we have a packed Thursday show for you today. Lots of injury news to get to. Kind of dive into the weeds of this matchup. We got a little return of Something or Nothing, the segment that's sweeping the nation thanks to the coinage of EJ Smith. And of course, we get back into round 4 of Swooper. Fran, how are you, my friend?
Doing great. Yeah, it's another big matchup here. I feel like we're going to be saying that a lot about the Eagles going this year. You're always going to get everybody's best shot, but it just feels like every game has got a little bit of juice. So it's
no doubt about it.
Good one to break down.
This will be a fun one. I got some off-topic stuff I want to get to, but I'm not going to do it at the top.
I mean,
let's save it.
That's rare for you.
Let's get into. There's too much news to get to, and so EJ Smith, our Eagles insider. Why don't we start with the injury report and all the ramifications therein?
Yeah, let's start with the guys on IR, which most notably Nolan Smith. He's been reported to have a triceps strain that's related to the torn triceps he suffered in the Super Bowl last year. He was placed on IR on Wednesday, along with Darius Cooper and Jacorian Bennett. So a couple of surprise inclusion or additions to the injured reserve list yesterday.
So these guys are all out for at least 4 games.
Yes.
All of them, like the whisper down the lane, is that hopefully the game after the bye.
Yeah, the expectation is that all of those guys will have a chance to return. Probably the game after the bye week, which is again the Monday night game against the Packers, shortly thereafter. So not season enders, but yeah, they should miss at least the next 4 or 5 games.
And interesting in both the case of Nolan Smith and Jacorian Bennett that they finished that game injured and then went on injured reserve. Let's start with Nolan Smith. That's the most important one here. First, how do you feel now about the state of the pass rush, Fran, and what are they losing in Nolan Smith on the just the short-term basis?
So what you're losing with Nolan Smith, one of your tempo setters up front, a guy that is able to set the tone. We know the physicality that he brings both as a pass rusher, but then also as a run defender. They're going to miss his presence off the edge in that way. You're hoping that you can get a little bit of that juice from Za'Darius Smith, grizzled vet who, has been in a lot of those battles and can have that same kind of element, but I think there's like a youthful exuberance with Nolan Smith that I think that it again was a little bit of a tone-setting element for this defense last year. So I think you are certainly missing that.
There's also, the way he plays, and this is a larger conversation, it is like sort of a youthful naivete, right? Like he's so flippant with the way he uses his body, right? Like, he's so violent almost to the point of not even considering what the ramifications of that violence will be. And that is a real concern for the Eagles long term. We talked about it this offseason. Nolan Smith was so good in the second half of last season.
Yep.
But the way that he plays with that frame does seem to invite the possibility of injury, and it is unfortunate that that is already coming home to roost in 3 games into this season.
Yeah, but it's tricky because he's not he's not necessarily the type of player. I feel like that is what makes him special.
Right. Without that violence, would he be
really getting from him?
nearly that good?
Not to say that he's like an effort guy or like a try hard guy, like to throw him in like the Trey Hendrickson, although Trey Hendrickson's a good player. So
yeah, right.
I think motor is an important thing for an edge rusher. And without that, I don't know if Nolan Smith is one of those guys that can kind of skate by or, move at 80%. So it's kind of a double-edged sword where you sort of feel like he needs that edge.
And what do you think about, for the next couple of weeks the way that we will see this edge rusher rotation shake out, EJ?
Yeah, I would expect Za'Darius Smith to take on a bigger role as he progresses and learns more of the defense. He talked about that yesterday. He started 16 games last year, so he's used to having a pretty big role in a defense. So I think he could step into some of that. And then you start to think about the ramifications on the back end of the edge rusher rotation. Patrick Johnson has been up on game days, so maybe that would lend you to believe that he would be the fourth guy. But
I don't think so.
I feel like, I agree, because I feel like he's more of a special teams contributor than a pass rush contributor. I found it interesting that Za'Darius talked about Obo and Azeez as the two options to kind of fill in that back half of that rotation. So I would probably
listen,
Azeez Ojulari.
They kept him on the roster, even though they've both been inactive for all 3 games for a reason. Presumably, this being that reason.
Either that, or they're holding out, hoping that there's some trade value to be had as the season progresses and there's injuries across the league.
I mean, it's not like you're improving their trade value by letting them just gather dust.
I'm not suggesting that they will.
But listen, I do actually. I think we may get. We'll see how the inactives play out. I would be surprised if they're not both up this week, because you think about the tension between Vic and Howie in terms of how much he wants those guys to play. And I think from Howie's perspective, part of the reason he was willing to let those guys on the defensive line play as much as they did is because they were young. They had young legs. And so if you've got Za'Darius Smith and Obo Okoronkwo, guys who are both in their 30s, taking over that mantle, and then Azeez is younger, I think it's going to take all of those guys to replace those snaps, kind of.
And there's a chance that we're sitting here a couple of weeks from now talking about the fact, maybe even a week from today, talking about the fact that they need to just add to that position, that the guys that they have now aren't sufficient.
Yeah, how dire do you think this is, Fran?
It's not great. I do think that when you look at Nolan, because there's some chatter in the chat about the chat. Not just in chat.
We'll get there. We'll get to
that. So there's some chatter in the chat about, how much has Nolan really brought as a rusher? It's not like he was completely showing up in the first 3 games.
Yeah.
I will say, Dallas, it was a lot of run game, play action. Certainly last week, a lot of play action from the Rams, a lot of run game, and then Kansas City. Mahomes is traditionally one of the hardest quarterbacks to sack in football. So I don't think that necessarily these were the 3 games where you were going to see Nolan Smith really show out as a rusher. Would you have liked to see him make more of an impact on the quarterback? Sure, but it's not like, oh man, he didn't look good as a rusher over the first 3 games. So they're going to miss him. To me, he's their best edge rusher. He's their best guy. So even though that's not a strength of this team, they are certainly going to miss what he brings.
Just to remind people, where are you on Azeez Ojulari after liking him a lot as a prospect, but then watching him last season and then also over the summer?
Yeah, I mean, he didn't look all that great.
Yeah.
I don't want to take a term that others have coined, but there might be that that washed term you might throw around, just the injuries have taken their toll.
Yeah.
He did not look like a guy that was a 2nd round pick 4 years ago.
Not a lot of
this summer. Yeah.
Here's my question: do you think that Howie has already placed a call to Brandon Graham?
You tell me. You tell all of us. I mean, well, honestly, it's just the 3 of us talking. What do you think?
I don't know anything. I would be surprised if he hasn't checked in.
Right. I remember Chris Long saying
yes.
It was the year after he retired.
Yes.
There was
after he had already come back once.
He came back the first. That was 2018. He came back.
Yeah.
So then 2019. 2019. And I forget the exact specifics, but they had conversations. All right, what kind of shape are you in? I would guess that there's some kind of conversation like that.
I would imagine so.
It's hard to argue that he wouldn't solidify that edge rushing group, at least to a certain extent. He played at a high level last year.
Yeah,
but he played. I mean, maybe it would take him time to ease back into it. But the player that he was last season, even if we'll do the Za'Darius Smith thing that we did when they signed him, even if it's 70 or 80% of that guy, that is still a valuable
if
player.
What you are really missing with Nolan Smith is not a little bit of pass rush juice, it is some violence on the edge and setting the tone in run defense. I think you're going to get that from Brandon Graham.
Yeah,
but.
I'm just imagining I would imagine. Okay,
I would just hope he would announce it on the podcast, but yeah.
If he were to come back, I would imagine that all right, Eagles Entertainment's going to have him mic'd up in his return, and just the idea of him going on the field for the first time, the trash talk that will ensue, and that's just the energy that would be great.
On one hand, I'm he rode off into the sunset.
Yeah, you're not going to get.
You don't want to risk it, but maybe he rides
But on
off
the other
into a
hand, you
second
get
sunset,
so many, if
that's a great point.
your body only has so many years in it, if you feel like it does, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure I would imagine those are things that he might be wrestling with, but I don't even know if he's heard from Howie.
Check out the Unblocked podcast.
Check out the Unblocked podcast. Most recent episode is up on all your social and YouTube channels.
Can I offer a counterpoint?
Okay.
This team wasn't built around its edge group to go into the season. I mean, you really are just hoping that this edge group is the floor, that they can just give you the bare minimum.
Well, they weren't.
Nolan Smith being placed on IR, I guess because of the guys behind him, you could have argued he's like maybe the fourth or the fifth most important player on this defense. But to me, this is a defense that's still built the same exact way. It's built by itself. I honestly think it's built back to front. I think the secondary is most important. And then from there, your interior pass rush is still the one that you're going to lean on. So I don't know. If you told me there's a position, if you told me I had to pick a position group on the Eagles defense that was going to get hit by injuries, I probably would argue edge rusher.
Counterpoint to your counterpoint.
Okay.
That defense that was built back to front last year, that secondary is not as good this year.
Yes.
And the defensive tackle group is not as good right now as it was a year ago because Jalen Carter doesn't look like he's the Jalen Carter.
And I think you were not counting on your edge group to be the best part of your defense, but you were counting on competency.
Yeah.
And there's a chance now that competency
you still probably get that from Za'Darius Smith and Jalyx Hunt. I don't know. Listen, it's not ideal. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but I'm just saying that if we were sitting here talking about injuries to defensive tackle, linebacker, or we'll talk about corner, that would have me a little bit more worried than the edge rusher group.
My other question here, and this, if we had foreseen this scenario in May, I think all of us would have thought, okay, well then, what about playing Jahad Campbell on the edge?
Yeah.
A little bit more.
Right.
Do you think that's going to, we'll get to the injury report because both he and Zach Bond did not practice yesterday.
Yes.
But do you think that is something that they will consider?
I think it's an interesting proposition, especially because Nakobe Dean will be eligible to come off of PUP next week.
Yeah.
So maybe you start to feel like, okay, we have competent linebacker play. I don't know. Again, it feels like they're building some momentum around the linebackers that they have. I don't know if you really want to mess with it.
I agree.
So I'm a little bit wary of it, but I do think that if you need 5 to 10 snaps, obvious pass rushing situations, and you need some juice, I think Jahad Campbell can offer you something. But again, he's so good in coverage. He's so good in the middle of the field. It's hard to feel good about taking him out of those positions.
Okay, let's talk about corner because with Ja'Cory Bennett placed on injured reserve and Adoree Jackson not practicing yesterday, feels like we're going to get Kelee Ringo this weekend. Is that how you feel?
Yeah, that's how I feel. Kelee Ringo spoke yesterday.
Yeah.
Just basically talked about the fact that he's been preparing as if he were a starter. You always hear that from guys. He talked about how he's trusting in his preparation, and I thought it was very noteworthy that Vic said he's going to get his opportunity. This is before we knew about this thing, but I think
what he was doing. Yeah.
And he said I know he'll be ready. To me, maybe that's him trying to build up confidence. It does seem like Kelee. It seems like he's got a soft spot for Kelee sometimes, doesn't it?
Can I tell you something? I have a soft spot for Kelee.
I
love talking to that. I really like Kelee Ringo.
So do I. I was on Kelee Ringo Island all summer, and I'm still there. I'm still there. I think there's a player there. I don't know.
I'm rooting for him.
Yeah, I don't feel great about it this week, but I think he could turn into something.
What were you going to say?
I wouldn't go as far as I'm really rooting for him, but I've left the light on for him for sure. I'm glad that they kept him. I think there were some people that thought move on, try and trade him. He's
crazy.
young,
very
young
player. I
player.
just like him as a person.
Sure, yeah.
I like him as a player and a person. I was pounding the table for Kelee Ringo all summer. Honestly, I'm grateful you guys don't beat me up on that more than you you could really hold me to the fire on that one. But I don't know. I think that there's still a player there.
The problem is, it's going to be in a game, this game at least, against a team where the quarterback gets rid of the ball quickly and throws it downfield. And now you're worried about the pass rush. And you don't know what's going to happen. How's the others? It's not an ideal situation to be thrown into.
Yeah, and
it's not. Isaiah Rodgers looks like the Eagles made a mistake there.
Yeah,
but Isaiah Rodgers' cameos last season, it was kind of an ideal situation to be thrown into. You were one part of an awesome unit.
Right.
This is a little bit different than that.
Yeah, and they're going to throw at him a ton because Quignon's on the other side. So. And if Quignon follows, he's got to flip from side to side. It's a tougher job than I think we anticipated, that outside corner spot because of all the moving pieces. And we've talked about some of the coverage bust from the Eagles secondary and how that might be a contributing factor. So it's a difficult job. And Kelee Ringo had a really chaotic training camp in like the worst way possible, chaotic. Like, just felt like he couldn't really get out of his own way sometimes. So I think the hope is he had a month to kind of recuperate, work behind the scenes, and now he's ready to go again because he has played good football for them in the past. So I'm intrigued to see what it looks like with him. I think having options is important. Perry Nickerson was signed to the active roster with all of these moves.
Yeah, that was interesting, huh?
I find that very interesting because that, to me, just like when you had a Dory Jackson out there, you wanted to have a Jacorian Bennett break glass in case of emergency. I think the break glass in case of emergency now is Perry Nickerson in the slot, Cooper DeJean at outside corner. And that makes sense if you think about it just from like if Keely Ringo is really struggling, what is your next option?
Yeah.
I think that probably is your best option.
What were the other two corresponding moves? Who else was put on the active roster?
Sorry, let me grab it. Should have had it for you.
Well, we had Xavier Gibson claimed off waivers.
All I can think about is
Quez
Watkins
released again.
Among the
Quez is back on the practice squad.
Yeah, so it was Cam Latu. It's Cam Latu now. Did you notice this?
No, I did not notice.
Cam Latu, Marcus Epps, and Perry Nickerson to the active roster. Eli Ricks, Quez Watkins, and one Lance Dixon to the practice squad.
Now, as the Cam Latu fan here,
Yes.
Stock up or stock down
The Latu
from Cam
Fanatu.
to Cam?
I think stock up.
I think stock up.
I think I go the other way.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't like a Cam?
I think Cameron Latu flows better than Cam Latu.
It flows better, but I think Cam Latu is it's probably what he goes by, and it's just like a little bit cooler. Now, are you an Andrew Makuba or a Drew Makuba guy?
I think I like Andrew better too, but I feel less strong about that than I do about Cameron.
I would agree with that. I think
I like
both
Andrew.
counts.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good thing you brought that up, EJ, because
Yeah,
there's a great
shameless
story on allphly.com today. Please become a diehard. EJ did a great job profiling the journey of Drew Makuba from a refugee camp in Zimbabwe to the hard-hitting impact rookie that he has become.
Yeah, I mean, he was great for the story. Got some really good stories from some of the people in his life as he moved to Austin, Texas, and it was like really remarkable to hear about his like introduction to football. Like, just instantly took to the sport, even though he thought that they were referring to soccer when they said we're going to play football.
So please go check that out.
Ronaldo guy. Did that surprise you?
I mean, not really.
I was hoping he said Messi.
Yeah, that's okay. Well, maybe he'll get a pick and he'll do the full.
The Sui.
Is that what it's called?
It's called. I think it's Siu. It's hard to say.
You're gonna need to workshop that. I feel like that's. Get back in the lab on that.
I've never had to say that in my life before. Yeah.
All right, much more to get to here, including the state of the linebackers and this change the Eagles have made to their travel plans. Coming up next after this word from our sponsors. So Julia invited me over the other day for trivia that she wanted to do, big football game. And the problem was I get there and the setup was a total mess. Lagging, buffering, switching between apps, trying to find the game. She claimed she was a big fan. Felt like I was fan fished. Because if you call yourself a football fan, you just got to have Xfinity. It is the ultimate sports destination. You can find the best games and your favorite teams all in one place, and the way that you watch, baby, it is next level. It's the perfect fan flex. You get all the action right in your living room, plus Xfinity's best picture and sound with enhanced 4K. So clear, it feels like you are in the stadium. Sometimes you can even get 4 games going at once, because why not? And on top of that, you get real-time notifications and live stats right on your TV. It's the best seat in the house every time. Next game day, make sure that big fan over there isn't a big fail. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Multi-view requires Xfinity 4K capable TV box.
Next, we're going to tell you about the good people at Ford and their legendary F-Series, the best-selling truck in America for 48 years running. The F-150 blends work-ready toughness with modern-day tech and luxury, offering 6 powertrain options, including a hybrid and fully electric Lightning model. or you could go with the 3.5 liter Power Boost Hybrid V6 with 430 horsepower and amazing towing capacity. Speaking of that towing capacity, it's best in class with a 14,000 pound limit depending on configuration. I owned an old truck when I was in college, and that thing rusted like crazy with these Pennsylvania winter roads, but that's why Ford has gone to a military-grade aluminum alloy body, which is tough, lightweight, and corrosion resistance. The F-150 comes available in so many ways. You can get a regular cab, super cab, or super crew, and select a bed length that fits your needs. For more information, visit your local Ford store.
All right. Back on the PHLY Eagles show. EJ, yesterday's injury report, also interesting. What's the scoop?
So Zach Bond, this is the one that really intrigues me because I've never seen this before. Have you seen a player go through individual and then be listed as did not practice? Do you feel like you've seen that before?
I feel like that's a clerical error.
I mean,
it's got to be.
I don't know. That's why I was so surprised.
I don't have it.
He went through individual. Yeah. He had a big, bulky brace on his left leg, but went through at least part of individual. Well, we were out there. It looked like he was going to practice, but he was listed as did not practice. Adoree Jackson was similar because he went through stretching and also was listed as did not practice. Jahad Campbell, triceps injury. He also did not practice. He talked after practice, though. It didn't sound like anything serious. So we'll see. I think today's going to be a bit.
We'll get in the middle of this show. Presumably, we'll get some update on those guys. But what's your temperature on? I mean, who are your 11 starters for this game? If you had to guess,
it's a good question. I'm going to guess Zach Bond plays. Okay. He said after practice, we heard from him in passing. He said he's going to talk today, but he said I'm good. And it looks like he is at least going through stretching. But again, he did that yesterday, so injury report will be big for him. I'm gonna guess Jahad Campbell plays too.
I think so too. Just a guess.
I mean, just this is really reading between the tea leaves here. But if you're the rookie that's not playing because of an injury, do you talk to the media on Wednesday and talk like you're gonna play?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna guess it's Keeley at corner.
I think so too.
And then
Za'Darius is the other.
Yeah, I think Za'Darius is the starting edge. I do. We can talk about this later, but I do think that the Nolan Smith injury and especially if they're going to get thinner at corner, I think base is their best 11 at this point. I said it on Tuesday, and I feel even more strongly. I'm not saying that they should be in base the whole game. I know that they're, it's just hard to do that, but I do think if you're asking me who their best 11 players are, I think you could argue it's out of base.
What do you think, Fran?
So if they come out in 11 personnel and they put Sterling Shepard.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that they should be in base the whole game.
Okay,
I'm just thinking they should hope that the opposition is in 12.
Yeah, I think that they should be. Every time the Bucs come out in 12 or 13, they're going to be great.
Right.
That means we're taking, Keeley Ringo off the field. So I think it's more pronounced now with the injuries.
Okay.
The Bucs, they've got injuries of their own.
Yeah, which makes it like it's like a week 1 game.
Yes, but they did lose their best blocking tight end, Keeft, put on injured reserve. So their ability to go into 12 and 13, at least from a pure run heavy standpoint, that's a little bit weakened going into.
Why are you smiling at Keeft?
No, not that. It's got nothing to do with the name. I just feel like I've got a soft spot for a fullback. I feel like Fran's got a soft spot for a nasty tight end, a dirty work tight end.
No doubt.
It's an X factor in your run game.
But see, those two things are not that dissimilar, but you really get on me about.
Well, here's my question.
I don't get on you about the fullback.
Do you have a soft spot for a blocking tight end, or do you just have a disgust with Nimby Pimby?
Oh, that's a good question.
Isn't blocking.
That's actually I think it's more the former. I think I really like the good blocker as opposed to my dislike for the bad blocker. I wouldn't put that against me though.
Depends on the day.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. One of my favorite football guy things that I've heard growing up is this is a deep cut, but there's this kid named Evan Patullo who played for Norristown, and he went to Temple. And he was a tight end in high school. And my favorite football guyism back then was if he just put his hand in the dirt and moved down one position, he'd be playing on Sundays. I like those types of tight ends, the Darnell Washington genre of tight end.
Okay. The other thing I want to ask about EJ is the change in the Eagles' travel schedule and this decision by Nick Sirianni to, instead of fly down on Saturday like they always do for every road game, essentially, they're going to fly in on Friday And all of this is because of the Eagles' history in Tampa Bay. We can flash it up. The house of horrors for the Eagles. Last year, they go down week 4, they lose. 2023, they go down and win, but then lose in the playoffs. And then 2021, they lose in the playoffs down there. What did Nick Sirianni say about that, EJ? And what do you think the reaction is?
Yeah, I mean, he referenced the struggles they've had in trying to acclimate to the heat a little bit more effectively. I found Vic Fangio's comments on it more interesting.
Yeah.
I did too. I agree. I enjoyed reading Vic Fangio's comments.
Yeah, so I'll read it really quickly. He says, "It is too late to do anything right now for it as far as prepping for it, the heat. You don't practice in the heat one day and say you're acclimated, or take a pill and say you've acclimated. The key will be, I mean, it's a mindset, number one. Number two, we need to not let them have 8, 10, 12 play drives on us."
Yeah.
He's the best. He really is the best.
I would tell you my sense is that the locker room kind of feels the same way.
Yeah, a lot of guys talking about like we're not going to make it more than what it is, but it's like leaving a day early is making it more than what it is.
Yeah, why are you like letting them get in your head this way? I mean, I don't want to make too much of it. You know, I'm sure that Nick has looked into the sports science of it, and maybe it works out.
Like a
I hate this. This is like, why are we giving them credit for something? It's so ridiculous.
Would you like to hear what Baker Mayfield had?
Sure. I have not heard this yet.
He said, "Advantage for us, we're in Tampa. The Heat, they're not used to that. I know there's already been the stories that broke about them coming down to Tampa a day early. I don't necessarily think that helps them. One day doesn't get you acclimated to this humidity. I think, honestly, it makes them think about it more when they get down here earlier."
Yeah. It's so weird. And I don't think the locker room likes it. That's not to say that, you know, this is not like that locker room's at odds with Nick Sirianni. I think it's just a relatable thing that we could all understand, which is my boss is doing this dumb thing that I don't want to do, but I'm going to play along just to get along. But like, these guys don't want to give up their Friday nights for this silly thing that doesn't mean anything.
Tampa for the 5th time and sit.
Yeah.
I mean, it is also like a funny observation. Like they've got all these SEC guys, like they're used to playing in the heat. You know, like I was in
just rotate a little more.
I was in Jalen Carter's hometown in July a few years ago. I know how hot it can be down there, and like, you know, they're used to it. It is a flex. I will admit that was a little bit of a flex.
So it's going to be a high of 91 on Sunday. Humidity only 69%. EJ,
nice.
Only 69%.
Almost 70.
Almost 70. It's going to be 74% humidity on Saturday. So it's going to feel a little cooler for their second day there. But we'll see.
I think they'll be fine. I mean, fine might not be the right expression there.
You ready for a little something or nothing?
Yeah, I've got a couple for you here.
We need a jingle for this. Something or nothing. What's it gonna be? Something or nothing. EJ's got the D.
Why are you like? Oh no, I don't know. Oh no. All right. It's like Tuesday all over again.
It was so avoidable.
Like you had so much time to think of something other than what you said.
EJ's got the tape.
I had no time at
all. You could have just stopped.
No, I can't stop.
Oh, man. You know, after listening back to Tuesday's show, I was like, I'm going to keep us on track. Like, you know, even if Bo starts to get us off track here, I'm going to make sure that I got something to counter with. And here we are.
All right, what do you got?
Please go.
All right. Something or nothing. I've got a couple for you. The Eagles blitz rate. It's hard to talk about the Eagles blitz rate, but it is 24.3% through 3 games. It was 15.4% last year. Week 1, and I know you guys might say, well, maybe one of the games skewed the numbers. It was 11.8% in week 1 against the Cowboys, 28.9 week 2 against the Chiefs, and then 31.4 against the Rams. So it's trending upward. So I want to know if you guys think that is something reflective of the pass rush, reflective of maybe a shift in philosophy from Vic, or just, you know, a product of the matchups in the first 3 weeks.
I tend to think more the latter. I tend to think that it was more hey, we're going to throw curveballs at two really good quarterbacks that maybe wouldn't have been expecting it otherwise. I think when you're looking at the way that they played Mahomes last year, they went complete opposite approach here in week 2, and then similarly with Matthew Stafford and the Rams. That's where I lean, but I think you could swing me the other way as well.
The one thing I find interesting is the other part of the Vic Fangio quote about the Heat and how that might factor into it, because he talked about the 8, 10, 12 play drives, and the Bucs did that a year ago. You know, they wanted to basically wanted to challenge the Eagles to tackle underneath and try and extend drives. I listened to Todd Bowles' press conference earlier this week, and he talked about usually when it's hot like that, the team that has more time of possession is the one that wins the game because you're wearing a defense down. And Baker Mayfield talked about it too. So
you think that's true? Do you think that's more true in Tampa or in the Florida than it is elsewhere?
I would suspect so, just because you are wearing out a defense by being on the field for those long drives. Again, we saw how much it affected the Eagles last year, and it's crazy to think how different that defense looked after that game. So I wonder if this will be another blitz heavy game. Like, you know, it kind of I don't know if this is the best analogy, but like the Jim Schwartz in the Super Bowl, like being like, we're either going to get you the ball back or we're going to get him off the field. Like, are there going to be instances where Vic Fangio has that mentality of like, let's be aggressive. If we get gashed on it, so be it. Like, we can't have these extended drives.
That's interesting. Yeah, maybe. I don't think I'm ready to go something or nothing yet here.
Okay. I mean, but that's not the point of the game. You got to give me something or nothing.
I'm going to wait a week. Let's see how they do this week.
So that's nothing.
This is his approach to Peckness Migrate that you took him to task for. Rightfully so. The other day.
That's fair.
I can't.
For now, I'm going to say nothing.
That'd be like me asking you like to like Peckness Migrate. Like, I mean, not your family members, but like yeah, Peckness Migrate like my family members. Like, you wouldn't do that.
I challenge him.
I'm happy to Peckness Migrate your family members.
Well, who would you migrate?
Well, I've only met.
Yeah, you've met
2 of them.
Who else have you met?
I met your dad very briefly.
When did you meet my dad?
I think at your mom's service.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Okay. So who are you going to migrate between my wife and my dad?
Well, none of them.
Yeah, I have to give you a third option.
Yeah, you got to give me a third. Door number 3.
Yeah, I need a number 3. Shoot.
One of the dogs.
This is not even close to a 1-to-1 comparison. Yeah.
Until you meet a third relative of mine, probably my sister.
Okay.
So I think you're probably going to migrate her.
Jeez,
she doesn't listen to the show, so
Wow.
I'm saying.
I mean, just made it easy for him.
All right, what do you got next?
Okay. This is something that has been on my mind, obviously. The Eagles have been in their base defense for 22.3% of their snaps this season, 40 out of 179 plays, compared to 14.9% last season. So up from 14.9% to 22.3%. Again, you might say, well, you get EJ. The Rams were they were in heavy a lot. They were those outside zones. They were in 21% each of the first 2 weeks of the season as well. 24% against the Rams. Last season, interestingly enough, through 3 weeks, it was similar. It was 21.6 through 3 weeks last season.
I was gonna say they lived in 11 from like week 7 on, week 8 on.
Yeah.
They barely got out of it. So I think it's a small sample. I think it's noisy.
So do you think it's nothing? You think that they're still going to be a nickel team?
Yeah, I think they're definitely going to be a nickel team, but I think that the propensity for them to go base is probably a little bit. They're more likely to do it this year, but I still don't think it's like a drastic change.
Okay, I'm going the other way. I'm going something. I think they were so good at a nickel last year, but I just wonder, especially as we'll talk about like the run defense, the struggles they've had stopping the run. I wonder if base is the answer for that for parts of the season.
For someone who hates anything before 1990, like you're willing to say, like, they got to play base defense and put a fullback. I don't know.
I don't hate stuff before 1990. I think really, as I've thought more about this movie stuff, I just don't watch a lot of movies. I don't think it's like, but I also do think like, because of that, if it was like a mature rated movie when I was young, the odds of me seeing it are low.
Yeah. Okay. I think you have one more here.
Yep. This one's more just fun. It's not as statistic heavy. Drew Brees saying the Eagles offense is boring.
Could care less, honestly.
I mean,
Yeah.
ascension piece of white bread called something.
Right,
What am I
yeah.
supposed to
Literally.
Well, that's what I have.
Right.
Like, it's not like he was like a,
Yeah.
gunslinger I mean, he was obviously a great quarterback, but I just think that like the commentary about the Eagles offense, like glorifying, like he got to the fifth,
Yeah, who cares?
fifth
I
round in
honestly
the
could care
progression.
less. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, come on.
I have one last thing on why I think the Eagles are overcorrecting. The
weather thing.
the weather thing. Flash up these games again, Julie, if you don't mind. These 3 losses in Tampa Bay, and contrast them with the 1 win. You know what the difference is? Do you know what those 3 losses have in common? That the week 3 win does not.
What do you got?
AJ Brown didn't play in those games,
Yeah.
so who cares?
I forgot until I was doing the research that not only did they not have AJ for that game last year, they didn't have Devontae either. They were down both guys for that game in week 4 last year.
So what are we doing? Was it the heat, or was it you didn't have your best player? You might ignore him for 2.5 games, but that's the reason they lost those games.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good point. Do you want a quick injury update?
Sure.
Lane Johnson is going through individual periods today. He was out there yesterday as well, but
Mm-hmm.
going through Indy today. Adoree Jackson and Jahad Campbell are going through like some, and this is all, I mean, I'll credit Tim McManus and Elliott Short-Parks for most of these updates of practice that's happening right now. Adoree Jackson is going through some of the drills, but again, he was kind of out there yesterday too. So I think seeing what their designation on the injury report is today will be important.
What's your gut on Lane?
I think he plays.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's on track to play.
Okay. Time for a break. On the other side, we will get into the matchup, starting with the Eagles offense against Todd Bowles from last year. Bet365 has 90 million users worldwide. They live stream over 780,000 events each year. And today is Thursday, which means Thursday night touchdown. A little Thursday night tutties. Place qualifying parlay bets totaling $20 or more on tonight's game and get bonus bets for every touchdown. Terms and conditions apply. Download the app and use code PHLY365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Breaking news from Bet365. New customers now get $200 in bonus bets when you bet $5. Win or lose, sign up. Use the code PHLY365. Deposit $10 and place a bet for $5 to get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. Bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. At Bet365, must be 21 or older and physically located in Pennsylvania. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
So we always talk about Righteous Felon, which, by the way, they're just an outstanding product. And one of the things we always tell you is, all right, we can get it at Wawa, you can get it at Giant, you can get it at Royal Farms, thousands of independent stores. So this past weekend, my family and I were out at a local orchard, and we're going through the store, we're picking out some stuff, and we're with some friends. And sure enough, we're in the checkout aisle. What do I see? An entire wall full of Righteous Felon product. And I was like, everybody, come around. Pick out some Righteous Felon. I'm telling you, it is outstanding. It's the best jerky you're ever going to have. And so everybody picks out their different flavors. My wife had not experienced Righteous Felon yet, even though I've had a stash of it. EJ can attest. Every time I come into the studio, I'm bringing some of it home with me to have as a film watching snack. So my wife had not partaken yet. So she grabs the Soul Survivor, which, Bo, I believe is your favorite flavor.
It is.
So she grabs a bag of the Soul Survivor and she puts it in the car. We bust out the Soul Survivor. She tries it. Her favorite place to go eat is Korean barbecue, and that's the flavor profile here. She's like, this is like K-pot in a bag. This is the best jerky I've ever had. She's not even a jerky person. She loves the Righteous Felon, and so I would say to you, be like Meg, be like my wife. Go and try a Righteous Felon. It's honestly like anywhere you can go and get jerky, you're gonna find Righteous Felon. 2-ounce jerky bags, 2 for $10 at Wawa. 8 to 9 grams of protein, so it's a nice little pick me up, and also just a nice savory snack. Go pick up Righteous Felon.
If you're looking for me, you can find me on the block disobeying the law.
I love Akon. Love Akon.
What's not to like? I'm sure there's some problematic reason, but that's okay.
Oh, is there? Oh, no.
I don't know.
I hope not. I'll look it up.
All right, we're back on the PHLY Eagles podcast. let's get into this matchup. Taking a look at the Bucs defense. And of course, we know that under Todd Bowles, they're very blitz heavy. Julia, you can flash that up on the season so far. Just 3 games, but 12th in EPA per drive, 14th in success rate, 5th in blitz percentage, 12th in man coverage percentage. What do you see when you look at this team on tape, Fran? And I imagine that one of the things that stands out is that they are very good against the run. So this may not be the week where the Eagles are going to get unstuck on that facet.
Yeah, good against the run. They've not allowed a 50-yard rusher this season. So when you look at, and they've gone against a couple good backs so far.
Bijan, right?
So they've gone up against some good ones. But when you look at this group, it's very athletic. It's a pretty versatile group. You mentioned it's a lot of man coverage on the back end, but they blitz you from a lot of different angles. And the sack that the Eagles gave up to Jalen McCullough last week, Saquon Barkley, eyes in the wrong place. McCullough comes in and hits Jalen on 3rd and long. They are very good at that kind of blitz. And it's a lot of different bodies. I'm actually going to break it down for the pregame show on Sunday. So make sure you tune to the pregame show. They do a great job of sending those guys from depth, and sometimes it's Antoine Winfield Jr. Sometimes it's the rookie nickel corner Jacob Parrish. Sometimes it's Levante David, Servassier Dennis. So they mix and match who is coming off the edge, but they do a really good job of hiding their attention. All right, we're going to show blitz here, and then we're going to come from the opposite direction. It's a fast group. It's a violent group. It's a good defense.
It's a tough game to figure out in terms of the blocking assignments when you got to figure out past the Servassier.
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
it was better than your last landing there in the last block. Hassan Reddick is there, and he's not the player that he was a couple years ago here in Philly. That said, he can still get off the ball. He's the first step is still there. Yaya Diaby, he had 11 pressures last week against the Jets, and most of it coming off left tackle. No, it was even on film.
Thank you to Mr. Diaby for his Pro Football Focus work last week.
Very disruptive player last week against the Jets. But you see Reddick, Vita Vea is still there. They don't have Kalijah Cansey, so talented defensive tackle. He's on injured reserve. But it's a good group. Now, the back end, it's a couple of athletic press corners. They've been mixing out. I think Jamel Dean, they want to try and slowly mix him out. They've got the rookie Benjamin Morrison from Notre Dame, who's a 2nd-round pick. They're trying to work him in more. He played 18 snaps last week in place of Dean, so they're finding spots for him. Zion McCollum is the other starter. They just paid him this summer, and then Jacob Parrish, like I mentioned, is in the nickel there. Philly native Tyke Smith is one starter at safety. Antoine Winfield Jr. is the other starter. These guys, if you look at Parrish, Winfield, Smith, and honestly, you could probably say the same for McCollum. Athletic, explosive, violent, competitive. They have a definite personality there on the back end. So it's
go ahead.
No, it's like I said, it's a fun defense to study.
Do you think in the building they are more worried about protecting the blitz and the pass game, or are they more worried about how can we get the run game unstuck against Vita Vea?
I'm sure. Honestly, it's Stout, Jamal, you guys figure out the run game, and then everybody else, all right, we're going to be figuring out how to make sure that we are dialed in from a pass protection standpoint. And honestly, that falls under Stout and Jamal Singleton as well. That's under their purview. So I think when you're looking at both ends of it, it is a big week for Jeff Stoutland and for Jamal Singleton.
Yeah, because correct me if I'm wrong, Fran, but I feel like a lot of times over the years when they've really struggled against those exotic pressure looks, it's in part because they've been in so many obvious passing situations. If you can't stay ahead of the sticks, it really does invite some of those more aggressive and again, unpredictable pressure looks.
And it's low hanging fruit stuff. But one of the things I thought you were going to bring it up when you said the difference between these games. The only time they've had a 100-yard rusher in those 5 games that you pointed out was that win in 2023. DeAndre Swift had that big night. That was that was his coming out party was that game. That was he had Minnesota in week 2 that year and then, at home, but that was the one big one after that. So no, it's gonna be a big test certainly for Jalen Hurts. Now Hurts has been, in my opinion, pretty poised against the blitz this year. I've liked what I've seen from Jalen against the blitz. I think that we can still quibble about the hot routes and stuff like that in the offense. I think at the end of the day, what you want from your quarterback, don't you want to be able to get more explosives. I think that's one thing where, I'm most interested to see. They were extremely conservative in those blitzing situations 2 weeks ago against Steve Spagnuolo and the Chiefs, and everything was like, all right, we're gonna get the ball out fast, we're gonna get it out underneath, and we're gonna let our guys try and go make a play. I wonder if you get more along the lines of what you saw late in that game, the Devontae Smith play, where there's a free runner right at Jalen Hurts, and he's able to deliver, and Devontae is able to hit it over the top. When they've been at their best against the blitz, that's kind of been their style. I go back to 2022 when Jalen was really good against the blitz, and that was kind of the profile there. I'm fascinated to see what their approach is, knowing full well, like you're going into this, like Todd Bowles is going to blitz. It's going to be second and long, third and long. You can expect that all that cast of characters, one of those guys is going to be blitzing off the edge or coming up the middle. So that's that to me is the storyline that I'm most excited to watch in this game.
Yeah, I was looking at some of their numbers against the blitz earlier, and like they are 30th in success rate against the blitz, but it doesn't feel like catastrophic like it did a few years ago. So I don't know. It seems like I think the like you mentioned they maybe aren't as aggressive against it, but they kind of are able to just kind of like take what they can and kind of live to fight another day. So I don't know. It's interesting. Like again, when I went to look for the numbers, I was thinking like, I'll probably be middle of the road against it, but it did surprise me that their success rate was so low against it.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to say it's like good process, bad result type of thing, because honestly, like the process, that's what we just talked about. I wish they were a little bit more aggressive at times. But like I said, like Jalen has been pretty poised against the blitz. Like it's not like he like looks flustered and his feet start to chatter and he squares up the line of scrimmage. We haven't seen that. He's been really sound and eyes upfield, looking at the receivers play out. Just want to see a little bit more aggression from them in those snares. The other aspect too of the matchup that's interesting, the Eagles 8 touchdowns on 8 red zone trips, best in the NFL. Yeah. That's a tough thing to keep rolling. Yeah. The Bucs have only allowed 3 touchdowns in 7 red zone trips on defense, so they've been really good in the red zone, and that's been one of the reasons why they are 3-0. It's been winning in these one-score games is kind of winning on the margins there. So that will be a kind of like game within the game here is who can win in the red zone on this side of the ball.
Just to your point about like it feels like he's been better against the blitz. One thing that I look at is the negative play percentage, right? And that has been against the blitz much lower this year than it was last year. So that's sacks and turnovers.
Yes.
He only had 1 interception against the blitz last year, but he was sacked, I think, 15 times.
Right.
And it was 8 the year before, I believe. Interceptions against the blitz.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Mm-hmm. I was studying.
Look at you.
Yeah. Pretty good.
Nicely done. All right. Time for our last break. On the other side, we'll get into the other side of this matchup, the Eagles defense against Baker Mayfield and the Bucs offense. And then after that, of course, Swooper.
That was really nice, actually.
Let's not.
Oh no, that's you hit that note.
Not go too far.
Thank you. So I needed a jingle, and this guy comes over and he's like, "Hey, my name is Ray. Make sure you end it with EJ's got the D. That'll make everybody laugh." And for some reason, I took his advice. I don't know why I listened to Shady Ray, because that's not the Shady Ray we're talking about. This is the Shady Ray we're talking about. The best sunglasses company going. And the wild part about Shady Rays, you are not going to get better customer service. If you lose your sunglasses, you just get a new pair with Shady Rays. If you don't like them, if you break them, new pair with Shady Rays. So now you can actually wear your sunglasses instead of protecting them like you don't want to lose them. No fear with Shady Rays. You can wear them to hikes, concerts, on the boat, whatever. Shady Rays is eyewear that has your back. And we have teamed with Shady Rays to bring you an exclusive offer. Head to shadyrays.com and use code PHLY for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people.
Next, we're going to talk about Monarch Money. Feel organized and confident in your finances with Monarch Money, an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean interface on your laptop or phone. I switched jobs recently and wanted to make sure my past retirement accounts weren't just sitting idly by. Monarch has been perfect to keep an eye on all of my finances in one place. Monarch is built for people with busy lives. If you put off organizing your finances, Monarch is for you. Don't leave money on the table. When you're making good money, it's easy to get complacent. Don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code PHLY at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's a 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code PHLY.
All right, we're back on the PHLY Eagles show. Let's flip our attention to the Bucs offense. And what do you see from Baker Mayfield when you watch him this season, Fran?
Honestly, like more of the same of what I've seen from him the last couple of years. The results have been really good. He's playing productive football, winning football. When you look at what he's done over just this season, like first quarterback in NFL history to have 3 straight game-winning drives to start the season. They're down 20-17 with 2 minutes left in week 1. They go and win. They're down 19-14 with 2 minutes left in week 2. They go and they win. They're down 27-26 with 1:50 left after a catastrophic field goal block return for a touchdown. He leads them down and they kick a field goal to win. Like, you can't argue with it. Now, that said, he is still, like, when he is clean in the pocket, if you don't pressure him, that's when he's at his best. Like, he's able to go through rhythm and play within structure, and it looks really, really good. I think everybody loves oh, there goes Baker. Like he's gonna roll out of the pocket. To me, if you are Vic Fangio, that's what you want. That's where you can get him into those mistakes. I know that right now, he's running hot that way. That's not a sustainable. To me, I'd rather him play that way as opposed to last year. To me, if you go to last year's game where they just carved the Eagles up, that's where he wasn't touched. The ball's coming out fast. The tackling was terrible, and they just marched up and down the field. That's the version of Baker Mayfield you do not want to see if you're the Eagles in this game. So to me, this is about trying to pressure, trying to mix up your looks, make him uncomfortable best way you can, and try and get him to play hero ball that way.
It did seem like he took a lot of shots in the Monday night game a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, so it does feel like they're going to need, because I'm with you, Fran. When I watched him, I was like, I don't really know if I remember Baker being a pocket distributor the way that he looked in that game. I always do think about him as this extending plays and kind of playing with a certain flair, but instead it was a lot more in process, in sequence. I feel like maybe it's the Liam Cohen effect from the year before, that offense seems like it has a lot of answers for him, and he's really good at finding those answers.
Well, as you saw from the graphic there from Julia, 4th in quickest time to throw, 3 games, which is a bit surprising given the play style we know from him.
Yeah.
But also 6th in depth of target, air yards per attempt, 8.8, which, to have getting rid of the ball quickly, but also throwing it downfield is a nice marriage. And he's one of only 2 quarterbacks in the NFL, guys, who is top 10 in both of those things and also EPA per dropback. So doing that and also being effective at it. Can you name the other one?
Herbert?
No.
Matthew Stafford.
No.
Are these good guesses?
Jalen Hurts.
No, Stafford's not.
Hurts.
Yeah. No, the answer is Daniel Jones.
Oh, man.
Indiana Jones.
I was so
How do you feel
wrong
about that?
about him. Oh, my God.
Well, we're not. Let's not.
I'm ready to take the L on that one.
Don't give up. I mean, he's whenever the pot starts to boil just a little bit.
Can I just be honest though? Somebody in the chat, I'll take 2 L's here.
No, we'll get to
okay, all right. Well, somebody in the chat pointed out Daniel Jones should be my exact type of quarterback, and I gotta hold that L. He is my type of quarterback. Traitsy, doesn't really process well, doesn't really do a lot of the quarter. I mean, he's athletic. He is athletic.
He's athletic, yeah.
And I think I had a blind spot. That's all I'll say.
Come on. You got a lot of stuff to beat yourself up over.
Drag myself through
this is not one.
To the average time to throw, the big thing for the Bucs, the story of the first 3 games have been that this offensive line has been decimated by injury. So Tristan Wirfs looks like he's making his return this week. There was some scuttlebutt about whether it's going to be at left tackle or right tackle. It looks like based off the depth chart that the team released that it will be at left tackle.
So they put Graham Barton back to center,
right? So Graham Barton, who was their rookie center last year, he was at left tackle. They're going to kick him back to center. Ben Bredesen, who had been playing center for Barton, he'll go back to left guard. Elijah Klein, who was playing left guard, he's going over to right guard. They had to play their 2nd string right tackle last week. Actually, they're technically their 3rd string right tackle in Charlie Heck, because their second. Well, look, he's been around for a while. Yeah. So Heck is in at right tackle.
The Bryce Huff Shrine game.
Of course. Who doesn't? Andy Heck's, who's an offensive line coach in the NFL for a long time, Andy Heck's son. But when you're looking at
weird body, I remember back then. Tall,
you're correct on that. Yes,
kind of wide, but like a very kind of like a giraffe neck head.
no Mike Glennon.
Situation.
Yeah, I was just about to say Mike.
Yeah, it was kind of was like the Mike Glennon of tackles.
I'm sure maybe that's on his Pro Football Reference page, the Mike Glennon of tackles. But so they're missing Luke Gedeke, missing Cody Mock, Cody Mock has turned into a really good player at right guard for them. You're missing Luke Gedeke, who's going to come back. Mock's not coming back. You're getting Wulf's back now this week. This offensive line has been in shambles. So you think about the things that you do if you are down offensive linemen. It's going to be a lot of quick game, a lot of screens, play action, move the pocket. They've done all of that. I do think that Baker's average time to throw will rise a little bit because of his ability to scramble, and then some of the mixed in like play action rollout stuff that can raise your average time to throw a little bit. But other than that, it was like very conservative watching this pass game where I'm just kind of buzzing through throws and I'm like, all right, what are they doing? Quick throw, slant, wide receiver screen, swing screen to the back. Like they're going to try and get all of those guys incorporated. The big thing now, though, is that Mike Evans is out. So Mike Evans is out with a hamstring injury. He left last week's game midway through. Now they're getting Chris Godwin back this week.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, Godwin got hurt in week 7 last year. It was, from what I understand, like just a devastating injury, like dislocated ankle, like lots of and apparently like other stuff in there as well. They were hoping that he was going to be back for camp, and then obviously it was not. He's coming back now. He was leading their team in catches and yards when he got hurt last year.
Yeah.
What version of that are you getting? Like, I don't know. Emeka Egbuka, he was limited last week on a pitch count with a groin injury, and that's something that can linger. So
you think both teams would just sign up for a tie and a bye? Like, we'll just not play this game. Let's get healthy. We'll take a tie.
Well, and that's, I think one of the big X factors in the game will be what version of Chris Godwin are they getting? And if Chris Godwin is like, okay, like he comes back the same Chris Godwins you saw from last year, I think they're going to feel pretty good going into this one. If it's like, oh, he's kind of a shell of himself and maybe he could have benefited from a few more weeks, I think they're going to be in a little bit of trouble from a pass game standpoint.
And so do you think that the way that they've used Egbuka, it'll be Quinyon Mitchell on him, and then if presuming that Godwin is going to live inside a good amount, that they'll be comfortable with Cooper DeJean and or Keely Ringo on him?
Yeah, and that's because that's the thing is that Godwin has been like a primary like power slot receiver for them. Egbuka is a guy that can line up inside and outside, but then Sterling Shepard is their number 3 receiver. So he's kind of a slot guy.
This is the week where you just line up on sides and play, or boundary?
No, I think they'll travel Quinyon to Egbuka's side would be my guess. He will go to, now he won't travel inside, but he'll travel to that side. And then if Godwin's inside, then all right, Cooper DeJean's on him. If Egbuka's inside, then Cooper DeJean's on him. I think that would be the approach for them in this game.
And then do you think on the defensive line, in search of maybe manufacturing some pass rush against a unit that has not played together as 5, we see maybe some more games up front?
I honestly hope that I always say I hope yes for that. Yeah, I think that's an area where that defense as a whole could just kind of add a little bit more teeth, especially if you are worried about the rush, like getting a little bit more variety with what they're doing pre and post snap. I think could be really good for that front. But honestly, when I'm looking at this group as a whole, like offensive line wise, like Charlie Heck, gettable. Elijah Klein versus Jalen Carter, love it. Ben Bredesen versus Jordan Davis or Moro Ojomo, love it. Like to me, like those are winnable matchups, and that's one of the big things for the Eagles in this game is can you win those one-on-one matchups up front in the trenches? The one thing too, Baker's always going to have highs when he's under pressure. He's going to. I just said I'd rather see him in that way than not, but the run game is really negatively affected by this offensive line because when I look at their 2 backs and Bucky Irving and Rashad White, those are guys that benefit from playing in space. Bucky Irving's best stuff is when we're just going to kind of throw him a swing pass or get him out in the open field. When things are congested, that group does not look good. So to me, like if the Eagles are able to really lock things down inside from a run defense standpoint, make them one-dimensional, that would be a big key to the game here for me in this one.
Okay. I feel prepared. Do you?
Yeah, this is great. Great stuff.
All right. Get a little bit more into some of the weeds, I think, on tomorrow's show with the professor. But I feel like we've set the table well for this matchup. And as far as I'm concerned, that means we're ready to move on.
To?
I think I'm like 8 seconds away from being able to do it. To a beautiful little place we like to call
Dig Deep.
Overtime.
Give yourself a hernia doing that.
All right. Welcome, everybody. By the way, this is not an ad. I'm serious here. This is out of an ad break, and I'm going to tell you about a place that does advertise with us. That's how much it meant to me. Went to the Phillies game last night with Rachel and Casey, but I had been monitoring those. We knew we were going to go to this game. We've been monitoring tickets all week on game time, and I see the prices change. We want to get 3 tickets together, and I'm waiting, and I feel like I could do a little bit better. And at about like 4 o'clock yesterday, bang, I got them.
Nice.
3 tickets, like along the right field line, right where the screen ends.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're like in the action.
Yep.
And I wasn't sure like if it was going to be like the front row, the first row, or the third row, whatever. We get there, like front row, like right next to the ball girl. Amazing. He gets a ball.
Oh, that's
like
great.
we see 8 home runs. It was awesome. Guess how much those tickets cost me?
I don't know.
$43 each.
I was gonna guess 40
Wow.
each. Yeah,
Front row.
it's impressive.
Unbelievable. So shout out to Game Time. You too can make that happen with Game Time. My one beef with the Phillies last night.
Okay.
We love Find the Ball and the Cap. The screen
great.
games.
Yeah.
Love that. I feel like the SEPTA one could be better. It probably would have been better if like neither of the trains actually made it. They both stopped because they weren't funded. That would have been funny. But my real issue was they did this thing like AI Mad Libs. You name
like
a
this, like,
player, you
it's
name a
tailor-made
place, you name
to
it. Like,
just
I
irk
mean,
you.
we almost left right then. Boo! we want an AI baseball game, and we'll get rid of the humans. Give me a break. Pathetic. How much money did they waste on that? Just so we could see a picture of Brandon Marsh hiking in Arizona. Unbelievable.
Did you just mutter what I thought you? Yeah. I thought so. It is overtime, but just making sure.
Outrageous. My other thing. Something it's always nice when we add something to a repertoire. I think I'm becoming a chai latte guy.
Yeah, a little spicy latte. Yeah.
I've had 2 now the past couple weeks. Delicious. I'm in on it.
A little too spicy for me.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, just the first sip is always like, ooh, nice. But then you're drinking that and it just keeps kicking you,
Can't handle the spice? What do you got? Raisins in your chicken salad too?
No. I am the I don't have raisins in my chicken salad.
Can't handle the spice on a latte. Come on. All right.
Real quick on the AI thing. I forget if I said this the last time I was on the show. The insinuation that I would use ChatGPT for my opening statement in the trial last week. Shame on you for anyone that brought that up in the chat. You were on my shit list if you did so. That's it.
All right. Spicy. All
Sorry,
right.
EJ.
Oh,
That was too spicy for you. Sorry.
It is time to look back on last week's Swooper. And we do that. This is not signed in here. I will get it in a second. Last week's Swooper. A big one, obviously. And we look at the review here. Fran, let's start with EJ. EJ, you had...
I gotta check.
Too many charts on Deniz's thing here. I gotta get it.
Oh, I forgot.
All right, here we go. EJ, do you want to? Is it out there?
Should I go get it?
Why don't you go get it while
Come
I
on.
read off how you did?
Staple.
EJ, Jalen Hurts accounts for 3 touchdowns, and at least one of them is a passing touchdown. He hit that. He only had 2 items. He nailed that. Matthew Stafford scrambles at least once. Man, he was like a football away from getting that one. And I actually thought that they should have ruled that.
I know. we all texted at the same
I
time.
thought that was beyond the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
It was not ruled that way.
Yep.
So he had only 1. You could argue he maybe should have had 2.
Hey,
had 1.
but honestly, that's a makeup for the Jahad Campbell forced fumble in week 1. So the football swooper gods, everything evens out that way.
Fran, the Rams score more points in the second half than there are combined sacks in the game. You paid 9 turkeys for that. You got it. A player on either team finishes with 0 catches on 1 target. You got that as well.
I was nervous there.
Saquon, it was
Tutu Atwell.
Yeah, Tutu Atwell.
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley rushes for 100 yards. Did not get it. So you had 2. I spent a lot of turkeys last week.
Yeah.
Kyron Williams has at least one fumble that is recovered by the Eagles. Did not happen. At least one, but not all of the following things happen. Mirror play. A player has a gain equal to his jersey number. That was the key one there. Kick hits an upright. Someone other than Hurts or Stafford throws a pass. I got that. Jalen Hurts ran for 1 yard a couple times. So that one was a hit for me. The Daniz one, of all the things that happened last time the two teams played, that did not hit. Darius Cooper records his first catch. Did not hit. Saquon Barkley has more rushes of 12 yards than Jared Verse has sacks and TFLs. Did not hit. Darius Cooper has more snaps than does Cameron Latu, and catches and carries would count for 4. And this was 6 snaps for Darius Cooper, 5 snaps for Cameron Latu, hit by 1.
Even though he left early.
Even though he left early. This is one nobody thought it hit after the game.
No, after he left early, I glazed over. I was like, oh, that didn't hit.
And it did. And then, of course, the final one, the Eagles win the game, but do so by a smaller margin than the number of turkeys for which the item is sold. What impeccable timing to get it at 8. Jordan Davis runs it in. The Eagles win by 7, and they don't have to kick the extra point. Hit it. 3 for me, and I am on the board. But
what is the board? Just out of curiosity.
Well, we'll get you have 2. I have 1. Fran has 0.
Interesting.
But in the math last week, I incorrectly gave myself I took away turkeys. So Daniz has me with 1 turkey left. Last week I said I had -3. I made 2 mistakes last week, and I have always said if you make the mistake in giving myself fewer turkeys, I deserve the punishment. So I am not taking those turkeys.
But
I need help. I also need help with the math. So I too am Team Abacus.
Did you steal this from one of your children?
I bought it at Target today.
Nice.
Hope to expense it. So I enter this as I have -3 turkeys, so I have 21 turkeys.
What's interesting is that I remember
These things don't
asked
count.
you afterwards, and I asked you in the moment. I was like, "How many turkeys?" And you said it. And I was like, "Okay."
Good for you. Yeah, I don't deserve the charity there. That's my own mistake. So I will have 21 turkeys this week. Fran will have 24. EJ will have 33.
Ooh.
But before we start, Swooper, there is one other thing that we have to talk about because clearly, I have made my mistake. Julia, please flash up Exhibit A.
Oh no.
I'm nervous.
What are you doing?
You should be. This is a timestamp from 3:27 p.m.
The game wasn't over.
on Twitter.
The game wasn't over.
Thank you to Kill a Cow for sending us this. This is the Jordan Davis game from Wikipedia. And then let's go to the next one, which is EJ Smith, the Jordan Davis game at 4:06 p.m. Mr. puffing out his chest.
39 minutes.
I'm the one who coined this. Doesn't know how to use search. Okay. And then Exhibit B, please, which we have already referenced in this show. A comment from the show on Tuesday. Several years younger than EJ, and regret to inform you that chat refers to viewers of the show, and the chat still refers to the place where you physically write the messages. EJ Smitty 17 replying underneath, "Oh no." So EJ, this is also for you.
Oh no.
Oh no.
There's more in there.
It's a bathrobe because I'm washed. Body wash because I am.
Who's washed now?
All right. I am going to take the L on the chat thing because this was like I was trying to expose you for being washed, and I just exposed myself for also being washed. We're both washed.
I agree.
Now I got a bathrobe out of this.
No, that's coming back.
You can't
You can keep the
expense
other
that
ones.
one.
You can keep the other ones. That's coming back. All right, let's get to the action here. The order this week is me, Fran, EJ, Daniz. Once again, I have 21. Fran has 24. EJ has 33. I kick things off. Item number 1. We lean into the special teams here again. There is a blocked punt, a blocked kick, a blocked extra point, a special teams turnover, or a special teams touchdown in this game. So a game-changing play coming on special teams. I am going to start the bidding at 2.
3.
4.
4 going once. 4 going twice. Sold to the man with the bigger abacus.
You have more curvature.
Yeah. Well, it's just silly. There are these nice things on the side. There's like a seahorse, all of these things, but it's an 11th item. So, like, why might
what's the deal with that?
Messes up the abacus. Anyway.
All right, my first one. All right. As I compose myself here, where am I? Okay. The big storyline: Jalen Hurts versus Todd Bowles. Jalen Hurts completes at least 55.7% of his passes with a passer rating of at least 69.4 versus the blitz. Now,
traditional passer rating.
Those are, yes, traditional passer rating. Now, you might say, like, why these random numbers? Well, versus Todd Bowles in the blitz over the course of his career, Jalen Hurts has a completion percentage of just 55.6 with a pass rating of just 69.3. So it's basically, is he going to be better than what he has been against the Todd Bowles blitz? Okay. Yes, on average on Sunday. So we will start the bidding at 4.
I'll say 5.
Give me 6.
6 going once. 6 going twice. Sold to Fran.
Sold. Take it.
Okay. Over to you, EJ.
Alrighty. So, my first one is Cooper DeJean lines up at outside corner for more than 25 snaps.
God, you love base defense.
Man, you are just...
Well, this could be this isn't just a base defense
It could be Perry Nickerson inside.
This could be there's a break glass in case of emergency. Move Cooper DeJean to the outside corner spot. Some context. He lined up. Oh no, never mind.
Oh boy,
I messed it up. I'm gonna start the bidding at 3. I think his career high is
context. He lined up. That's all the context you need.
I think
the trail off was very.
I do. I just panicked. I couldn't find it. I panicked.
Yeah, maybe it's that seat or something.
Some context. He's white.
No, I'm not saying it. Never mind. His career high is 13 snaps at outside corner.
Okay.
So
25 snaps.
25 snaps.
And you started the bidding at 3.
Okay. 3 going once.
Have that one.
3 going twice. Sold to EJ.
I have no inside information about this for the record.
That you've revealed to us anyway.
Okay.
Daniz.
We move to Daniz. Item number 4. Item number 1 for the professor. Some context. Daniz is a professor at Penn. He's going to be on the show tomorrow.
Okay.
Always good.
This is a normal auction.
The Eagles remain 100% for the year in red zone touchdown rate. You already touched on this, Fran. 8 for 8 for the Eagles so far this season.
Yeah.
Well, they remain undefeated in the red zone. And worth noting, I believe Sean Syed of Sumer Sports brought this up recently on a podcast. But the Bucs a little bit more successful than most teams in stopping the tush push.
Right.
Worth noting here. I'll say 2.
I'll go 3.
4.
It's tough, man. Yeah.
I'm letting you have it.
4 going once. 4 going twice. Sold. To the curved abacus man. All right. Oh, get your minds out of the gutter.
What do you mean, get your minds out of the gutter? Everything you said on the show. For
How
like a
dare
week,
you?
You live
How
in the
dare
gutter.
you? In the middle of Swooper, EJ? How
Something
dare you?
No respect.
Unbelievable.
Out of
First
order.
you cheat. All right, we've talked a little bit about, and I think we're going to get into it more with Daniz tomorrow, about how the Eagles have been consistently late getting to the line of scrimmage
Yeah.
Right.
the past few years. So the item here is that at some point in this game, the Eagles call timeout to avoid delay of game. And the asterisk there is that this will not count if it is clearly lining up to try to
Okay,
tell them
not a trick play.
So
Okay.
this is going to be a function of them not being ready to snap the ball.
How are we going to tell that this was by design?
I think I think it's pretty clear when they're doing the.
Usually, you can see the smile on Nick's face when they're coming to the line, and like the look of approval.
Yeah.
Loves that
And they
so
also
much.
like
It
it's
really
also
does.
like it's the only time that they're ever quick to get to the line of scrimmage. It's like when they're not going to snap the ball. The only one here that could potentially be a gray area is if it's like they don't like the defensive look or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But we'll know this one when we see it, I think.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I'll start the bidding at 1.
2.
Two going once. 2 going twice. 3.
I feel like that was a little bit of home cooking there.
Probably.
It's good for the game, though. It's good for the suspense. It's good content.
3 going once. 3 going twice.
Cheers.
Okay. Sold to me.
Can we get a turkey check here?
I have. Oh, I haven't been doing mine.
Oh, Jesus. The whole point of the abacus is for
I
you to
know.
be doing yours.
What's this, your first time using an abacus?
Yeah. I'm done at 14.
Yes.
Fran, you're at 18.
Yeah.
EJ, you're at 26.
That's what I got. Okay.
Okay.
My turn. You mentioned the tush push. My next item. The Eagles get a first down or a touchdown, lined up from a tush push formation, but they achieve that first down or touchdown in any way other than actually running a traditional quarterback sneak. So we're talking fake sneak, a trick play, a defensive penalty, or some other means that I haven't thought of.
Oh, so you're including a penalty here.
Yes.
I really like this, Fran. I like the way that you framed this.
Thank you.
As someone who is coming up with swoopers now and is like, how can I get these to
The
be
penalty
better?
one is the sneaky
good.
one here.
Mhm.
It's not that they're going to necessarily run a play.
As sneaky as you saying
Right.
a player gains as many yards as their jersey
I
number.
think that was very sneaky.
It wasn't purposely sneaky, but it definitely got by. Like it was well played. That was a good one.
It was a good game.
Let me ask you real quickly before we bid. Do we think that this the 400-pound rookie defensive tackle Desmond Watson that they added to the practice squad that was on their team all offseason is
That'd be
going
fun.
to play? Do you think he's going to be one of the practice squad call-ups?
I don't, because they asked Todd Bowles about this. Did you see this?
No.
It was so funny because imagine if you ask Nick Sirianni something like that.
Yeah.
Imagine if you're like,
Yeah,
so
he
is
would-
Morris going to get called up? And he, we got time to make the
It's
decision.
too early. Yeah.
So like, ask me if Desmond Watson is.
Hey, Todd, is the new guy, Desmond, the big old fella, is he going to be called up for this game for the tush push?
No. He just said so flatly no. Like it was like the most, and it's just like, okay, good to know.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
He might come up again later.
Did you start?
We'll start the bidding at 3,
4,
5,
6,
7.
8.
You can have it.
Ooh.
8 going once, 8 going twice. Sold.
I enjoyed that one.
It's a good one. It's a really good one. It's me, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Saquon Barkley has a run of 25 yards or greater. Now, you guys might remember the 13-yard touchdown run that Saquon had against the Chiefs. Might as well have been a 50-yard. Might as well have been a 50-yard.
Yeah, would that
touchdown.
count? If we think that it would have gone for 25 yards,
Moral victory,
Yeah.
explosive runs, that would
doesn't
not count.
Okay.
25 yards or
It's a
greater.
run of 25 plus.
Hasn't had one this year.
Where are you starting the bidding?
I'll start it at 2.
3.
4.
5.
5 going once. 5 going twice. Sold. Got to be a run, though.
Got to be a run.
Yeah.
All right. What do we got from Deniz, Julia?
Okay, this is normal auction, then winner chooses X.
Oh.
Winner chooses that.
So yeah, the rules are the normal auction, the winner chooses X, where X can be any player from either team.
Okay.
Okay.
And the item 8 is
It's creeping on.
Yep.
X has 100 yards from scrimmage. So receiving plus rushing yards, and you get to choose who X is. All right. I'll say 2.
3.
4.
5.
That was a Zoolander.
Cam Latu.
Read out of you.
6.
6 going once. 6 going twice. Sold to Fran. Who's it
AJ.
going to be?
AJ.
AJ Brown. Is that who you would have chosen too? EJ.
Latu.
Obviously. Ben Van Sumeren. No, probably. Yes, I would have chosen AJ.
Okay.
The Saquon synergy would have been interesting, but
Yeah.
a little riskier. Yeah.
All right. My final item here is a two-parter. Either there is a headline somewhere in the Eagle sphere Sunday night or Monday morning
Oh,
that says Ringo Stars.
I don't like this.
Or, given the heat, an Eagles player is shown puking on the broadcast.
Now I have an immediate question. Can you just put Ringo Stars in something? I guess
could.
you don't write. I know you could put it in
Wow.
your takeaway thing.
Shots fired.
What, that he doesn't write?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, that's fine.
it's just the truth. he writes sometimes, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, it could be the thumbnail
Then,
for the post-game show.
Then,
But
does that
I
seem
there-
fair? And
well, there's
We've done these kind of.
I know,
before,
but like,
yeah.
you guys put me on trial. and,
there's
like,
honor here.
I was about to say, I thought that this game had.
Is
They're not
Is
going to
there
lose the game, and I still put Ringo Stars up as the post-game show thumb.
So you have to coin
But-
it, is what you're saying.
No, it could be. This could be the back page to the Inquirer. You know, this could be.
Inquirer back page.
Okay, well,
The Daily News.
the Daily News. Yeah, this could be. I mean, there's not that many. There's not that many places it could be, but somewhere Ringo Stars is out there.
I kind of want to disqualify
Or someone
you
puked.
putting it in for yourself.
Unfortunately, that's not allowed. So I'm going to start the bidding at 1.
Man. 2. Oh, wait, no, but if I get it, you're not going to do it.
Correct.
Wait, but I could do it.
The intellectual dishonesty between these two heathens on either side of me is just. I could never chat. The chat.
Chat. I mean, I think that's the right use of chat, right? You weren't talking to the chat. You were talking to the viewers.
2 going once.
Oh, wow.
2 going twice. Sold to EJ.
So now I just a matter. That was bad work by you guys because you're really just trusting my integrity at this point.
Which I have no trust in.
Yeah, exactly.
But so let me ask you this really quickly as clarity. Is it just Ringo Stars is the headline, or is it like Ringo Stars and Eagles win? Is it just that phrasing?
Ringo Stars.
That's the head. That's it. Got it.
I mean,
That's it.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
I mean, tune into next Monday's Early Bird.
Okay. You can't put early bird in there.
Oh, yeah, it's got to be the headline. Yeah.
It's terrible SEO. Oh, well, You're doing it at your
All right.
peril.
Plus, it would mean you like acknowledging the existence of the Beatles.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't have some vendetta against the Beatles. I thought what I said was pretty nuanced and measured. I didn't think it was like,
Debatable. I will say that I do like the fact that you only spent 2 turkeys, at least to keep him from cheating.
That is true. Keep you away from it
Yeah,
because you would have found a way.
I take offense to that.
On what?
Only if it's thematically appropriate.
We'll find out.
Okay. I mean, the conceit is that Keely Ringo is going to have a very good game.
Right.
And that one of us.
All right,
Makes
over to you,
sense.
friend.
All right, my last one. Saquon Barkley runs for more yards than there are total points scored by both teams in the game.
Good one.
The Bucs have not allowed a 50-yard rusher yet this year. The over-under on this game right now is 43.5. Saquon ran for just 46 last week against the Rams. He only had 10 carries in the game last year against Tampa in that loss. The totals of the last 5 matchups. We can go through that as well.
I like this one.
So we're right around the same ballpark. We are going to start the bidding at 5,
6,
7,
8,
9.
I'm out.
9 going once. 10.
11.
Man. 11 going once. 11 going twice. Sold.
Good week for Swooper for you, Fran.
I mean, we'll see.
No, I just mean like the entries are
Oh, thank you.
really
Yeah,
good.
these are good. I like a well-constructed swooper. That was a well-constructed swooper. All right, over to you, EJ.
All right.
Your last one.
My final one. Desmond Watson gets
Oh.
mentioned on the broadcast for emulating Jordan Davis on the Bucs scout team.
So that has to be the only reason they
That's
mention him.
the conceit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now you're making me wonder if I should have made it more open-ended. I can't second guess it now. It's already
No,
in
that's it.
Swooper lore. So
How early did you send your submissions to Julia for graphics today?
Good question.
Was it like 1:30,
no,
1:40?
9:54 a.m.
Wow.
And I said,
Good
please
for
tell
you.
me if I get these in
Good
before
for
Bo.
you. Good for you.
I think I had you beat.
You did. Are you opening the bidding out? 1?
Yeah. One.
Yeah. 1 going once.
Yeah.
Going twice. Sold.
I like having a broadcast mention though. It's fun.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the way you find out about it is like people letting you know on social media.
Yeah. All right. As we approach Deniz,
Turkey check.
EJ has 10. Fran has 1. I have 14.
I gotta say, this is probably a record for the amount of items one person has while still having double-digit turkeys going into the last item. EJ,
Yeah.
you got 1, 2, 3. You've got 6 items.
I've been trying to get value plays. I saved a lot of turkeys too.
Yeah.
All right. What do we got? Let me guess. The Eagles win the game.
Okay, the rule.
Oh boy.
Did you
This
see it?
is
No.
Top-
Oh, yeah. EJ cheated. He saw this one.
No, this is the one I saw, so I'm out. I'm abstaining because I saw this
Oh, get
on
out of
Ethan's computer when I was walking.
Oh,
into the
no.
office. I'll just abstain. It's
okay.
fine.
This is a
Now
top.
he's
know why.
pretending to be all pious.
My integrity has always been unimpeachable.
Now we know why you. Now we know why you went heavy on these other ones. If you had told us before that you were going to, you know. Wow.
Okay, top 2 pay auction.
Top 2 pay. This is ridiculous. This is
Proceed like a normal auction with the highest bidder winning the item and paying their own bid as usual, but the second highest bidder also must pay their final bid and does not win anything. You may borrow turkeys from next week.
Unbelievable.
What do you want me to do? I just walked by the guy's computer.
You can still play.
Okay. I am going to need the rules explained one more time.
All right, one more time, Julia.
Okay. Proceed like a normal auction with the highest bidder winning the item and paying their own bid as usual. But the second highest bidder also must pay their final bid and does not win anything. You may borrow turkeys from next week.
Okay.
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 Yep.
That's a fun one.
The item is
The Eagles win the game.
The Eagles win. All right.
1.
2.
3.
4. 4 going once. 4 going twice.
5.
5 going once. 5 going twice. Yeah, you got it. I lose 4 turkeys. Wow.
The amount.
We all really don't think the Eagles are going to win this game, or are we
The amount
just
of-
scared of the?
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about that. The amount of strain I had, like thinking, like if I do it, can I get Fran to go up again? Like, is he gonna go up? Is that gonna mess me up? That was tough.
All
Really
right,
got the heart pumping there.
EJ, you have the special teams thing where there's a block or a turnover or a touchdown on special teams. You have Cooper DeJean plays at least 25 snaps on the outside. 25, very heavy.
Little known fact, he lined up.
For context, he lined up. You have a tush push is successful for the Eagles without a tush push happening. You have Saquon Barkley has a run of 25 yards. Ringo Stars or a puke. And what's this last one?
Forgot about the
The
puke.
Desmond Washington mention.
Watson.
Desmond Watson.
If they call it Desmond Washington, I will say that does not count.
I agree.
Watson.
But is only mentioned as being Jordan Davis on the scout team. And you have 10 turkeys left over for next week.
I feel okay about it. It's a lot of low probability.
A lot of low probability
Yeah.
in there.
Fran, Jalen is better against the blitz in this game than he has been historically. He has to hit both things, the completion percentage and the quarterback rating.
Yes.
A.J. Brown has at least 100 yards from scrimmage. Saquon Barkley has more rushing yards than points scored in the game. That was the highest priced item this week. Seems like the likeliest one to hit. Good job by you. And the Eagles win. And you have -4 turkeys for next week.
Yep.
I have the Eagles remain 100% in the red zone and scoring touchdowns. And the Eagles call a timeout because they're late to get the ball snapped. And I only have 10 turkeys. for
Lost
next
4
week.
on the.
Lost 4.
Then he's fine.
So I have
Then
10
he's fine.
turkeys left
Yes.
next week. There you go. See if Frank can
Now
get
or
on
never.
board.
Yep.
All right. Anybody else? Anything else to say?
Watson, you out there?
Watson?
Watson.
All right. Why do they go 11? Why wouldn't
That
this
is
be
very weird.
Why wouldn't this be the 10th? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean.
You need to get the chat to hook you up, like me.
Yeah. Wash DJ over here.
Yeah, I got to take the L on that one. I mean, that was tough.
You know what? You got the L and you got the D. For EJ and Fran, I'm Bo. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 2 o'clock with the professor in studio. Thanks to Julie for making it all happen. Comment below. Say, what the hell did I just watch?
That was a good episode.
I thought that was a great
That
episode.
was a good episode today.
Great episode. Let us know again. We've already heard you. Many people weighing in about Team Lude or Team Crude. Obviously, now we've moved on to Team Load or Team Wad. Let us know where we should.
Load is
we
definitely
need
worse.
to plot the. Is it more likely that if you're Lude, you're Load? Let's see what the correlation is there. Got to figure that out.
Venn diagram on that.
Otherwise, that's all we got. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 2 o'clock. And as always, we love you.
We all silly like the mayor.